Welcome to my 12th Python course. In this course, we are going to be working with set in Python. So let's begin. Set is a data type in Python that stores unordered of sequence, and it doesn't store duplicate value, and also it is unchangeable. So let's create a new set in Python. To create a new set in Python, let us call this universal set. So U is equal to an empty set. So we use two curly braces to create a new set in Python, or using the set function by just typing set with two parentheses. So those are the two ways of creating a new set in Python. Now, I said earlier that set doesn't accept duplicate value. So if I try to input something like in my set like this, let me input values in my set. So let me input 2, 4, 4, 3, 4, and print U, and we got our output as 2, 3, 4, and now Python has filtered all these duplicate false in my set. So set doesn't accept duplicate value, and it is unordered, and also it is unchangeable. So that is the features of set that you need to know at first. Now let's continue with set. We can do so many various things with set. I said set is unchangeable. So if I try to print my U using slicing like this, U of index 0, we are going to get an error. Now we have an error saying that type error set object is not subscriptable. So it means that we can subscript set. We can't use this index in our set. So even though we say that U like this of 0 is equal to 3, that is, we want to change our U and try to print U, our universal set, we are going to get an error. Set object does not support item assignments, just like tuple if we watch my last tutorial video. So let me clear this off to stop getting some errors in my set variable. So we also have for loop in set. So you can only use for loop to loop through an item in set. You cannot use a while loop because it is not subscriptable. You cannot subscript a set in Python. So let's give that a try. So let's say that for s in U, then print s. We're going to get our output as 2, 3, 4 because we looped through U and then we print each of the elements inside this U. So let us try to use while loop and let's see what is going to happen. So let's say that I is equal to 0 while I is less than the length of U like this. Then we print U, then we are subscripting U now, like U of I, then incrementing I plus equal to 1. So let me run this program. We are going to get an error, set object is not subscriptable, and this is where the error comes from, line 8, because we cannot subscript a set in Python, so we cannot use while loop for set in Python. We can only use for loop. So to get the total length of U, this is by printing the length of U, and that is just it. You're going to get 3. This is the output here. This is 3 because set has filtered all these elements because it doesn't accept duplicate value, and that is just it for set. Now let's continue with set by going through intersections, symmetric difference, subset is superset, and stuffs like that. We have so many methods for sets, but I'll be treating the basic ones for this course right now. So let's move to pop in set. So let me clear my screen and let's pop out some values in set. So I'll try to add more values inside the set. So let me just remove these two first here and add some values like 5 and 7 and 6 like this. So let me add some values. So I just added some values now. To pop out of set, you can just type u.pop, just like C, just like list. Sorry about that. So if I should print u like this, we are going to get one item popped out of the loop. But let me comment this code because it takes some space for in my terminal. So let me just type pass and clear the screen again and rerun the code. So we have the output as 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now looking at this output, we don't have 2 anymore, even though 2 is here. Let me copy 2. Sorry. Let me copy 2 to back. We are still going to get 2 as the removed value, because what this dot pop does is that it sort this set. After sorting it, it popped out from the beginning of the set. So that is how dot pop dot. Unlike list in Python, it only pop out element from the back of the list, but set pop out from the beginning of a set. So that is how dot pop up. So if I should pop another list now, like dot pop, you're going to get 3 as the removed value. So we only have 4, 5, 6, 7 left, and that is just it. So let's move on. We have so many methods for set. So let me redo my code. I type in using this Control Y or Control Z. So I will have to comment this. Let me create a new variable and call it boolean is equal to true or false. That is, we can also store some other data types in our set, not only integer numbers or string. We can store so many various data types or Python data types in set. So we set our new set to be equal to boolean, which is equal to true and also false. Those are the 2 elements in this set. Now, if I should print boolean, we are going to get false as our. Let me print boolean like this. We're going to get false as the first element because computer works with 0 and 1, and in computer false is actually 0 while true is actually 1. So Python actually sorts this element inside set. So that's how Python works. So let me create a new variable and call it e to be which denotes as element to be equal to fruit. Let me say that this is apple, banana. Let me just leave it like this. So to add an element to a set in Python, we use this method e.add. Then you input the element which you add. So let me input something like mango and print e. We got our output as mango, banana, and apple because we've added mango to this e. To remove an element in a set, we are going to be using this e.remove. We have 2 methods that we can use. E.remove, then you input the element which you remove. So let me input apple, and let's say I want to remove apple and print e. So we have the output as only mango and banana. Now we don't have apple anymore because we've removed apple. So if you don't want to use this dot remove method, you can use discard, e dot discard the element you wish to discard. So if I should discard apple and run this Python code, set no has no attribute discard. So I actually type discard, not discard. So discard, this is it, corrected. So we have our output as mango and banana, and that is just how it works. Now let's move to set operators. So we have intersections, we have union, we have is disjoint, is subset, is superset. We have so many various other data types in Python, but I'm not gonna be implementing all those in this file. So let me just create a new file and save my new file as so we've saved our new file so we can start running our code. So let me create a new variable. A is equal to, let me add some values, 2 3 4 5, and B is equal to 3 2 6 7, like this. Now to print the intersection of A, we're going to type A dot intersection of B. Now what this intersection does is that it returns the element that appears in both sets. So looking at this set, what are the elements that appears in both? We have 2 3 here and also 3 2 here. So we only have our output to be equal to 2 3. So if I should run this code, we have our output as 2 3 because the intersection of these two sets is only 2 3. So A intersection B is equivalent as saying that B intersection A. So it's just the same thing. So we have the same output. And also we have one operator in Python if you don't want to type this method B intersection A or intersection B. So this is just by typing A and B, like this. So if I should run this code, we are going to get 2 3 as our output, which is just the same thing as B intersection A or A intersection B. Now let's move to union. So to print union in Python, we have A dot union of B, like this. So let me run this code. I have my output as 2 3 4 5 6 7. So the definition of union is that it returns all the elements and remove the duplicate values. So what do I mean by it returns all the elements? Now looking at this element, looking at this output, we have all the elements here, but we have 3 2's, 2 2's, and we have our elements to be 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it means that it returns all the elements, then remove the duplicate value. That is just a simple definition for union. So to use an operator for union, the operator for union is actually absolute, which is beside the curly braces. So print A absolute B, which is the same thing as saying that B absolute A. It's the same thing. So if I should run this Python code, we are going to have 2 3 4 5 6 7 and also 2 3 4 5 6 7, because this is equivalent to this. Now let's move to another thing. We also have symmetric difference. So if I should print A dot symmetric difference, symmetric difference of B, symmetric difference of A symmetric difference B is the same thing as saying that B symmetric difference A, because it is symmetric. So the output that we are going to be getting here is actually 4 5 6 7, because the difference of this two sets is only 2 and 3, because the difference of these two sets is only 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry about that. So we have this 2, 3 is here, 2, 3 is also here, which Python is going to remove them and give us the difference in this list. So that is what symmetric difference is. So the operator for symmetric difference is actually a to the power of b, like this. So let me just remove all the suggestions. So this is what symmetric difference is. So if I should run this Python code, we are going to get to exact values as our output. So we have the output as 4, 5, 6, 7 and also 4, 5, 6, 7, which is pretty good. So that is just what symmetric difference does. It removes the difference of two sets. So it returns the difference of two sets and remove the values that appears in both. Now let's move to different. Print a dot difference. I type two i's here. A dot difference of b, like this, which is the same thing as saying that a minus b. So let me run this code. We are going to get our output as 4, 5 because difference is not commutative. So we have the difference of a to b is that this is 2, 3 and also this is 3, 2. The difference of a is just only 4, 5. So the output is going to be 4, 5. So in this case, the difference of b, so let me say that diff of b to a, like this. Let me just make it like this. The diff of b to a is not equal to the diff of a minus b, diff of b. So we are going to get two different values. If I should change this like this, print b dot different of a, and also the operator print b minus a. Now let me run this code. This one should be 6, 7. So the output is 6, 7, and for this it is 4, 5 because the difference of b to a is only 6, 7. 3, 2, 2, 3 are cancelled, so we only have 6, 7 left, and the difference of a to b is just only 4, 5. So it's only symmetric difference that add these two difference and give it that as the output. And that is just it for these operators. So we have is subset, is superset, and also is disjoint, which only returns the Boolean values, true or false. So let's get into this. Let me create a new variable just to prove my my set is subset and also is superset. Now let me create a new variable by saying that x is equal to, so let me run this code. Print x dot is subset of y. Now my output will be true. Yeah, the output is true because all this element is a subset of this element. So 3 is here, 4 is here, 5 is here, and also this is 6. So all these elements is a subset of this, while y is a superset of x. Now let me prove this. Print x dot is superset of y. We are going to get our output as false because x can never be the superset of y. The first proof is that x, the length of x is less than the length of y. That is the first proof. The second proof is that all these elements is lesser than y. If I should run this code, we are going to get true, which is this first one, x is subset of y, which is true, and the second one should be x is superset of y, which is false. So if I should change this to be y is superset of x, we are going to get true because y is superset of x. So even though if I change this to y is subset of x, we are going to get false because y is not subset of x. And that is just for it for superset and is subset for in set in Python. So let me move to disjoint. So what is disjoint does is that it returns an item A if A is not present in B. So it returns a Boolean value if a specific item is in Y. So it returns false like that. So let me prove this. Print x dot is disjoint of y. So if I should run this code, hopefully I'm going to get false as my output because all these elements are in y. So if I should add 9, so let me try and add 9 and try to get the output. I still get my output as false because the law says that return true if item A is not present in item B. So we still have so many present values here. So if I should clear this off like this, we don't have 9 here. So if I should run this code, we are going to get true as my output because we don't have any of these value. Let me add more values, like let me add 10, let me add 13, let me run this code. We are going to get our output as true because all these values are not in y. You can also change this to be y and also x like this. So we have the output as true because this is true. All the elements of y are not in x. So that is just for it for disjoint. It returns true if item x is not present in item y. That is just a simple definition. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.